Alright, we're going to be testing my PSE Kingfisher. I'm going to be shooting at about 20-25 yards depending where I feel like standing. The camera right now is set up at like 23 yards. I'm strictly going to be using my laser sight. Now this is not a typical bow laser sight. This is actually a Walmart / Kmart / Sports Authority $29.95 sight for a rifle. I actually took it apart and I fitted it into this bow sight, this rear sight for a bow that I installed, and I used the holes in there for the grooves to be able to actually adjust the height and the pitch off it. And then on the actual laser itself, it has smaller Allen sockets where you can fine tune it. So what I did is I kind of lined it up at 20 yards to my pin sight. And it's not perfect yet, it still needs a lot more adjusting. So I'm going to kind of just free shoot it right now, strictly just with the laser, and see where it hits and how good it is. I'm going to be doing this with a combination of aluminum arrows with 4-inch vanes, and with carbon arrows with 2-inch vanes. See what we get out of it. Right, let me go ahead and go back here to about 25. Let's turn on our laser, and let's see what it does. Okay, first shot, a little bit to the right. So we know the laser is a little off. But what I'm going to do now, since it went left a little bit, I'm going to move about the same distance to the right with the laser and see what happens. Okay. Now, I'm on either side of dead center. So now I'm going to move a little less than what I gave it. And I should most likely be where I want to be. And there it is. I'm in the yellow, which is the kill zone, 4-inch radius. When I say yellow, I'm referring to a 4-inch radius circle that's in the middle of that target. And when I say red, I'm referring to an 8-inch radius that's in the target. When I say blue, that means I'm completely shooting off the target. Alright, here we go. Not bad, a little higher. Now this bow is 45 pounds. It is a little heavy. It is a recurve bow. That's why you don't see the, that's why you see a little jittery at the end, as it's a little heavy to hold, a little hard to hold. There is no let off, so when I'm holding it back, I'm holding back 45 pounds. The trick to recurve bows is actually to shoot them as soon as possible. It's not really to hold them back. But since I'm trying to adjust the laser sight, I'm holding it. That way I can get a little more sharper aim. But the faster you actually shoot these, and you can mark your target as fast as possible, the more accurate you're going to get. The longer you hold it, obviously, the more tired you're going to get. Alright. Let's get a couple more in there, then we'll try the carbons. So at this point, it's not really too much adjusting. There's a lot of human error because I'm kind of free shooting it. I'm not holding it too long. So if you notice that the laser is not always dead center, kind of like moving around the target, hitting little edges, a little higher, a little lower, kind of playing with it, trying to see if I can keep them all in yellow. Once I can kind of keep them all in yellow, then I get a little more precise. So far, no blues, which is a good thing. I'm staying within yellow. I got maybe 2 or 3 reds out of it, which is off. But as I use this laser more and more and I get more comfortable with it, that was a hard hit. Did that thing pop? Made that target move. Thing's going pretty deep. Get a couple of, this is the last metal, then I'll switch to carbon. Nice. Okay, now full size uncut carbon arrow. Again, I'm a big fan of full size arrows. For a recurve bow, not for a compound, full size works very, very well. I know I should not be using 2-inch vanes on these recurves. It's supposed to be a 4-inch, but guess what? It's my bow and I shoot how I want to. Nice hard hit. These full-length arrows actually work very, very well at 30-40 yards. More better than at 20, especially when it comes to these laser sights. But it's a pretty decent cluster. The longer the arrow, in my opinion, the longer you can shoot. Shorter arrow, it's very accurate at close range. But what's the fun at shooting at something a couple of feet away? Fun part is, knocking something upside the head at 30-40 yards and say, look what I did. And last but not least, little rascal here. This is a pre-cut arrow. This one was cut down to supposedly my draw length, and I'll show it to you right now. See, on the full pull. So this one at short range should be pretty decent on the on where I want it to hit, and at long range even better. Alright, that's all for now. Alright, time to adjust my sights. Last video I shot with the laser. This one I'm going to shoot the extreme rear sight with the 1-pin. And based on the shots that I do, I'll go inside, I'll adjust the pin, get a little closer, a little further, a little up or down. Again, I added a whisker biscuit on this bow, and I modified it so it shoots closer to the actual bow itself than so far out, so it gives me more of a deeper, a closer shot. So I'm going to go ahead and now test the alignments that I did and see how they work. I'm right now at 20 yards. Camera set about 20, 21. So it should be pretty close to where I'm standing. Alright, sight is off a little. It's pulling to the right. The actual laser is actually better sighted than the sight itself. So instead of adjusting the laser to the sight, I might as well adjust the sight to the laser. Let me try another dead center aim with the sight. And it's off to the right. I mean to the left. So let me aim it with the laser. And it's where I touched it. Let me go more in with the laser. Perfect. So I'm going to go back inside now, and I'm going to realign my sight to the laser. The laser is getting very, very close, so it gives me a little closer to where I'm supposed to be hitting at 20 yards. Once I do that, I come back out, I'll test it at 20, then I'll test it again at 30, and go from there. The laser is doing actually very, very good. It's a little loose right now from all the shooting I've done, so I'm going to retighten it. It's exactly where I want it. It's a perfect position, so I want to keep it there, and then I'll adjust my rear sight and my pin to my laser because it's a closer shot, and come back and try again.